Joining us now from Houston in the United States of America is Professor Patrick Omo-Osagie. He is an expert specialist on international sports, finance, and economics. Professor, thank you so much for joining us tonight on Game On. And we're looking at if the Super Eagles somehow fail to qualify for the FIFA World Cup, what are the possible losses that could be suffered by maybe Nigeria and everyone across board?
Actually, let me leave Nigeria out of it first. Let me start with FIFA and then the USA. There'll be a lot of disappointment in FIFA if we don't qualify. Well, the simple reason is that FIFA looks at Nigeria. Everybody knows Nigeria is probably the best known team coming out of Africa. And there are a lot of cities FIFA would have loved to place us to play our games. Dallas, Houston, Atlanta, Washington, D.C. That is going to really crush FIFA if we are unable to qualify. Now, for the US, this is going to, just for us, for we Nigerians out here, I'm looking at the situation of them coming to Houston where I stay. I'm looking at the situation of them playing in Dallas where I can drive to. These are things, and like you said, all these are economic benefits both to the city and to FIFA. Remember, FIFA waits for all the qualifiers to be done, and then they place teams into where they're going to play, depending on really financial values to the city, to the host city, and to FIFA themselves. They're not going to play a Nigerian game in, let's say, in a town like Seattle. It's not going to happen. There are not enough Nigerians or enough Africans in the Seattle market to enhance what FIFA wants to do. So that's going to be a huge loss for us not to go to two World Cups in a row. The financial losses now, it's almost criminal that our federation, I have said this and I've written about this many times, one of the goals of the Nigerian Federation as a developing football nation should make sure that we do get to FIFA. It's every 4 years. Your preparation has to continuously be geared to us qualifying. Because, now, let's forget about what we do with the money. The fact is that it's a huge source of revenue for us. Even the United States Soccer Federation that has probably in its bank account, now the last time I saw it, has over 100 million sitting in a bank account. That's the Football Federation, $100 million. Not qualifying for the World Cup is always a huge damage to their finances. They think about that 10 to 15 million that the men's team can bring in, and maybe another 2 to 3 million that the women's team can bring in every 4 years, in that 4-year circle. It does something to a football federation to be able to get to FIFA. The exposure, then the money. Now, you talk I think Mr. Adigun talked about, what about the media? Look, it almost makes the media look like a failure every 4 years that you don't go to the World Cup. Now, it's not as if they have anything to do to us qualifying, but it just kills, it drains. There's a drain to the system. You have nothing to do when you're covering World Cup. You're covering a World Cup that your country is not participating in. That's tough. That's really tough to do.
But Prof, I need to ask you this question. Your opinion, I know you're a huge fan of the game and you follow the Nigerian Super Eagles quite closely. Who do we blame for this current state of affairs? A Super Eagles team that has started the campaign with 2 straight draws and 1 loss. It's not exactly edifying, is it? So who do we blame? Who do we hold responsible for this? The FA, the players who showed an inability to hold their heads up high when it mattered the most, or maybe George Finidi, who a lot of people said that is in over his head.
Well, yeah, Finidi might be in over his head. I don't know that, but for someone that played sports, coach sports, and referee sports, I always think when you want to really blame someone on the long run, you blame the player. The players know what is at stake. So look, if they cannot maybe listen to the coach, let's assume the coach is giving them the right instruction, and then they can carry it out either because, look, here's a coach, I listened to the coach talk about 2 mistakes cost you 2 goals, cost you that game. At this level, everybody knows that teams are waiting for mistakes to happen, counter-attack, someone losing his concentration, the goalkeeper really not paying attention, things like that. That is how you score at this level. So you have to really put this blame on the players. I don't care what the selection is. I think we have enough players to always have a good team that can compete. But look, we're not being competing. If we don't go to this coming World Cup, that'll be the second World Cup in a row. That means our football is in trouble.
Well, I mean, Tony, I get the impression that you agree with a lot of what Professor Omo-Osagie has said as well. But who do you want to hold responsible for this as well?
Prof?
No, you, Tony.
Well, it's, this is not the time to start the blame game.
Really?
It's a time for us to try to pull together to see what we can salvage of our World Cup campaign. Because the race is not over yet. So it's not a time for you to pause in a 100 meters dash or a marathon. You don't stop and then look back to see who made what, who did what. Finish the race and see how well you can finish and then see if you can salvage anything from the race. So I'm not going to be going into any blame game now. The race is not over yet. We can still rally our troops together. We can still pull together and salvage what is left of our World Cup campaign. So I think we can, that's what we should do.
Wally, your own opinion, very quickly, your own opinion.
I think next up was is Rwanda. And Rwanda
in March 2025. 2025.
They'll be saying, "Can we play you tomorrow?" That's it. They want to play us as soon as possible. It's looking really, really bleak. But is it doable mathematically? It is. Win all 6 games, hope for some laps here and there.
That's Group C.
Yeah.
Currently stands Rwanda. Leading that group with 7 points, a better goal difference than South Africa, were in second, Benin Republic in third, Lesotho in fourth, Nigeria in fifth, Zimbabwe in sixth. I never thought I'd see a day where this kind of group will see Nigeria in fifth place. But gentlemen, we have to go. We're out of time. Many thanks to Professor Patrick Omo-Osagie, who joined us all the way from Houston. We appreciate your time and also for giving us the benefit of your wisdom, sir. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, sir.
My pleasure.